Yo, what is going on? I'm back, and Liverpool are back where they belong. Top four. What a feeling! What a feeling! Salah didn't get the job done, didn't get his golden boot, but you look, that would have been just the icing on the cake. The main attraction happened. We made top four. Dermot, man, how you feeling?
Yeah, decent. Just look, Chelsea were very lucky. Obviously, lost to Villa, but Leicester just imploding on the final day. But let's be honest, I don't really care what happened in that. To be honest, how many times did we write off top four, man? Months and
Ah,
months, and
like
the carrot kept dangling, and we just kept saying, "Nah, I'm not
yeah,
hungry, not hungry, not hungry."
for,
But
for the
we
first
munching
while,
tonight.
for the first while, it's taking a little nibble. It's like, yeah, top four. It's back on. Bang, then I'm like, nah, nowhere near. And then they kept dangling it. They're like, yeah, you know what's coming. I'm like, nah, don't want to get ahead of myself. But as you said, tonight we are going to be eating up, living it. It's a bit, it's a bit crazy. Like after this whole year, how everything's gone down. I mean, relegation was dead this year. Like
Yeah,
it
you
was
would have
like
liked that going into the season. That would have been nice and
I
sweaty
think
and
I
interesting.
think I think this is the earliest in Premier League history that the three relegation teams have been decided, which is crazy.
Shell Liz,
Come
yeah,
on, third
facts.
place, like
We said our prayers
third
today. To be
place.
fair, we said them prayers. But look, I'm not. Yeah, I'm delighted we got top four from where we were, but I don't want to see the fans like celebrating this like a trophy. That's just what like yeah, you know what I mean. I always hate that. I know Leicester are dropped out. They came fifth, I think, but they got an FA Cup. I still, it's all about trophies for me as a fan. But look, I'm delighted.
Yes,
We maximized last 2 months.
I
We've
would
done
have
the
been
biz.
I would have been on a similar page to you on that, wherein like you've no trophies, it's not great, but however, like if you're getting third in the league with playing Nat Phillips and Reese Williams.
Yeah,
Oh my!
facts,
Imagine what you're going to do with Van Dijk and
facts.
say Kanate or whoever. Like, come on, that was
Absolutely, bro.
crazy.
Uh, yeah, the boys are so shaky. Like they just get the ball, and you're just like, give it to Thiago or Fabinho. Honestly,
Yeah,
shout out to Mark.
I love
Shit, that's not
the
showing. Maybe that's me, but yeah.
yeah.
Mm.
Our
Don't even,
season
to
was
be honest, I
crap. I'm
don't even
just
know what
glad
that
we
stands
won.
for. So
Yeah, just glad. Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
yeah,
If you're talking about these players like that, we're just after getting third in the league with, not just scraping. This was third. And come
yeah.
on,
Worst
what
champions
United?
ever, they said. I'm not saying like we should celebrate this like not, but like the slander that we were getting, worst champions ever. Like, didn't Chelsea finish 10th after they won the league and stuff? Like, absolute scutter talk. I want to
And
say this.
actually,
I just noticed this. I didn't realize this until the games were over. Obviously, yeah. Go on,
I,
lad.
I'm lagging. I'm lagging.
What we? All right, P, you go in and out or something, or go on that 3G. But what I was saying was, uh, Everton. By the way, that is not an Everton jersey behind me. That is a Thailand jersey. That's too small for you. I just need to get that out there. But Everton, who were supposedly going to finish well above Liverpool, handy finished 10th, I believe. Let me just double check that because I don't want to get proved wrong. But like, remember Everton after they bet us saying, "Oh, this and that." Like we did fin. You know what I mean? So I'm going to give a bit of slander back out. Yeah, Everton, Leeds United, promoted team, finished above Everton. That's going to be spoken about. I know there's a few Everton fans in the chat last night. Are they here today? You know what I mean? Big up to Isaac. He said scariest thing next season. Healthy Liverpool, Chelsea finally get a striker. Yeah, fact. Who do you support, Isaac? Don't know who you support, but yeah, I think we need a centre back before we need a striker, sort of thing. But yeah, you're right there. But Pete is back in the building.
You're talking about everything there. Like they
Tenth,
bet us they were
tenth.
going. They were getting gassed or whatever. Man United, their best season since Fergie left. You man are 5 points ahead of us. Five,
Facts.
and they were having our worst season ever. Suppose it should just
bit of context. Look, I'm not going to celebrate it, but I just want all the slander from the other fans just to cool down a bit, sort of thing, because it's been an okay from where we were. I think Pete slagged out there. Maybe that's myself, but big up Evan Tobin in the chat. But you know what it is? It was a decent final day. Chelsea were blessed. Let's be honest. Did I seen Kepa came on? If there's any Chelsea fans in the chat, how is Mendy looking? Because that could be Karius part 2 if Kepa's in that Champions League final. I don't know. Like if he had to, maybe they were just being safe. Obviously they have that game, but I don't know what happened to him.
I think Kepa gets. Yeah, I'm not going to say he gets a lot of like disrespect, but he's not worst keeper. Obviously, he's famous for that time in the final, but he's made a couple of mistakes at Blunt's. But to compare him to Karius is a bit disrespectful. But
nah, it's not. They're
he is decent.
They're both shit. Like I'm not even gonna. We're not even gonna bother comparing them. I just think they're both shit, man. Kepa just has that price tag. You think he's half decent.
Miles better than Karius. Nah, that price tag is what makes him look bad.
Look. We're not speaking about Kepa because we'll go on about this for about 20 minutes, man. They're both shit. We can just agree on that. They are both absolute shit. Big up to Liz again. Yeah, look. I'm going to celebrate a bit as well, like because we wrote this off, so it's a bit of a bonus. And the third just makes it a bit nicer. It just kind of calms all the slander we were getting from the other fans. Like you're just like kind of calm it down.
But how much when I seen Leicester ahead and Chelsea losing, I was.
I wanted a bit. That would have just been bonus. A bit of bonus, yeah. Facts. Just a bit of Chelsea.
Imagine Chelsea lose the FA Cup, don't get top 4, and then lose Champions League final. I still think if they lose Champions League final and FA Cup final, that's still the biggest L you could have taken. Like.
Shout out to Paul Pogba. I'm sure that's the real account in the chat. Big up to you, Pogs. Look, hope you have a good Euros, man. I'm going to get a France jersey with you in the back. So shout out to the real Paul Pogba, and then shout out to Adam. Yeah, Kepa, look.
Kepa's decent. I don't want to hear too much Kepa slander.
I just don't want to hear Kepa full stop. Shit keeper, man. Adam, you were lucky, though. I'd say you were kind of bricking it kind of mid-game when you went 2-0 down. Like Tuchel was looking stressed, but Leicester kind of got you over the line. Harry Kane's last game, I would say, but I'm just going to have actually look. To be honest, I was only looking at the other two results. The Leicester game in Chelsea. And let's see, Joe Willock on the score sheet again. Shout out to Joe Willock. What's that, like 8 and 8 or something? Absolute madness.
It's been levels, man.
What a signing!
Man City finished off the season with absolute confidence, gave Everton a good final thrash, and
it's grand. Everton already won the league in, as you said, whenever it was. They won it early. Big up Jacko. Gareth Bale is a Chelsea legend. Facts. Yeah, Chelsea. I think it's seen it. Chelsea, Wales, Spurs, Golf, or whatever it is in that order.
Yeah.
You know them Gareth Bales. And then
you know them ones.
And then Ivan Toney scored again. Of course he did. Ivan Toney's going to the Premier League regardless if Brentford win or not, man. To be fair, I actually watched that yesterday. He missed a few decent chances, but I'm not going to get on his back. Man's a class act, and we will be big to the hill.
Yeah, I'm not labeling him anything, but like he's been maybe below his average in the 2 playoff games I've seen so far.
Look, without his goals, they're not going to be in there. So, you could look. I'm just saying.
You don't get anywhere
last day
in
of the season. You've lost.
You don't get anywhere in football without luck. That's the game.
And then shout out Evan. I think Pepe back too. So Arsenal are back. You heard it here first. Arsenal title challenge next year. 2 for Pepe. Of course, I'm just sorry.
Odegaard's coming in signed. Yeah. Boom.
Good win for Arsenal, and obviously good finish. I think they won their last 3, if I believe. But it's just typical Arsenal. There's no pressure on the tall that they'll win a few games. They are such cowards. The Arsenal fans are going to be a bit. I'd say they'll give a bit of abuse on Twitter now that they won a few games, but Does that mean Arsenal came 7th, so he's got the conference? I think that's bad news for them if I'm going to ask.
They didn't come 7th.
7th, where they come 8th again.
8th.
So
Spurs
they stay where they
came 7th.
Spurs 7th, so Spurs get that conference, is it?
Yeah.
Watch
them actually be the first team to win this conference and celebrate like they've just won the Champions League.
Let's be honest, the Audi Cup is bigger than that Conference League. They're going to be playing like they're going to be playing the Irish teams and stuff, though, aren't they? Legit in like their groups. Like it'll be like won't even be the top Irish teams. It'll be like mid-table top 4 Irish teams. It'll be like kebab on chips from all them Wi-Fi. You know what I mean? It will be all them though. It's just bad.
Fish and chip shop down the road. Hot and tender is starting 11.
Shout out to Pogback. I think he's Adam Lallana's brother. So look, 2 top ballers in our live chat: Adam Lallana, Paul Pogba. That's what we like to see. I'm from Peterborough. We got him. Yeah, Jesus, he's didn't get enough money. He's got ripped off by Brentford. Then Jesus Christ, I know it wasn't a good time.
That's lower league transfers. You never get a lot of money from a big club. So
yeah, facts. And then Slideball says he quits. No, look, I'll have a few beers later. Definitely watching the golf. Don't know if anyone in the chat will watch that, but definitely will have a few after. Like top, like I am happy. Like it's more relief. I don't know if you us getting top 4. It's more of a relief sort of thing, isn't it? It's like
yeah, it's just kind of one of them moments. You'll silence everyone. I know it's not a great feat. You came 3rd, yeah, but when you look at what happened this season, you look at the injuries, you look at everything, and just seeing the people back today in the stadium, just how much it means to these people, how much it means to the club, because we needed that. We want to get top players this summer. We want to buy. I know we're always going to have a pulling factor, but Premier League, Champions League just instills that, finishing top 4.
Facts.
You see, I know. Me and you are very like kind of big pessimists on the transfers on the Mbappe, but you're never going to sign an Mbappe, Haaland, or whatnot if you're playing Europa League.
Man. I think Sancho's doable though. You look, as you seen, guys, Grizz Khan was on. Make sure to check that out. What a guest that was. But Grizz gets that little transfer gossip, and Kanate's done basically. It's going to be announced this next week or something, according to him. So I trust him, and he's saying we're in for Sancho. That doesn't necessarily mean we'll get Sancho, but we're in for Jadon Sancho. So I could see that happening. I'm not saying I think there'll be 3 or 4 clubs after him, but if we're in for him or Rafinha or something maybe. But once we don't have Reece Williams at the back, I hate to slander him, but like, and Nat Phillips. Let's be honest, Nat Phillips is a legend.
Sure, next year it doesn't matter who we buy in. It's going to be Van Dijk and Nat Phillips, Virgil van Phillips at the back.
I personally think we should just act as a big club now and cash in on Phillips. This is
yes,
like just I think with Arsenal as well with the Joe Willock, they're just on their purple patch. Cash in now. I think we should have done that with Origi a few years back when there was the hype. How much do we?
How much?
Yeah. Sorry, my sound.
Yeah, you lagged out a bit there. I'd say like what, 20 million? 25 million?
15, between 50 and 20, I would say. Like, because he's 24, 25. Yeah, shout out Tobin. Does he have magnets in his head? Look, he could. He loves a head injury. I'm not surprised I seen him with that head strap. It's just classic Nat Phillips. But fair play to him. He is a big part of why we made top 4. Like, a big thing we do.
As much slander we've given these guys this year, that's when we're in a very pessimistic mind state. Like, we want to be.
We're just talking about what we've seen. We're not going to be deluded for the sake of deluded.
We want to achieve better things. We know Nat Phillips won't be able to do that with us. Maybe for this season, yeah, but we know he's not a long-term solution. But we have to pay homage where it's due, and him, Reece Williams, everyone who played this season stepped up and done a job because they were playing more and more hours than they're used to. And it's overall the squad has had to be really strong here. It's been great for the squad. I haven't Genie living. Yeah, like it's probably at the stage for him, Evan. Like he's been trying to get a new contract for so long, and they just haven't been able to agree with it. So his time here is done, and that's unfortunate. He was a good player, but you know what FSG are like. They don't want to pay a big contract on an agent player. They're not really mad about paying that big wages. So
Yeah.
if they're not going to agree, like that's simple. He can go off, get a bigger wage somewhere else, and enjoy the rest of his years to go down as a great servant.
I don't know about you, but me and my old fella, as we clapped him off. Man's made a consistent 7 out of 10 for like 95% of his Liverpool career.
Mm-hmm.
Big goals. Let's not forget he got 2 goals in that Champions League semi-final. The goal he got against Roma in the other semi-final in Roma, I think it was. Like, and I think he's been criminally underrated when he's going. His tech gets underrated as well. I think he obviously look. Last month he hasn't been his best, but I don't care, to be honest. He wore the captain's armband today, had a decent game, but I think he was always underrated. He played in every big game for Klopp. Like Klopp trusted him for a reason. Yeah. So genuine, wherever he goes, I wish him the best, sort of thing.
Anyone who watches international football and they watch Netherlands, you'll see how much of an impact this guy has had over the last couple of years. Even if you hate Liverpool as much as you do, just watch him in that Holland squad, because he's a baller.
He's higher.
He's played at centre forward at times. When Depay's been injured, he's nearly played a striker, kind of false 9 role. He's done everything. He's so versatile. A typical Dutchman, to be honest, and he's been a great servant to this club. And like I said, have to wish him well.
25 million was he or something like that? So, bargain. I remember, to be fair, we signed him from Newcastle, and I was like, "What the fuck?"
That's the season they got relegated, though.
Yeah, and even Newcastle fans were saying he was shit and stuff. But
we got him on a bit of a sale price because he was going to Championship. But wow, what a player!
We chat a bit about? Look, I know we're chatting a lot of Liverpool. We'll just get that out of the way first, but we will be talking about the other club. But can we talk about Thiago Alcantara? Because is how good. I think he's the best player in the field the last month for us. I want to say. I think he's absolutely. You just see when he has Fabinho beside him, man's balling out.
I've said it for a while. Like it's a bit of an odd transfer for us. I think he's very out there from what Klopp's.
He's not Klopp's style. Let's be honest.
He's not a Klopp style, but he is a football style, and I think he could slot into anything. He's looks fantastic. Like next year, are they going to get a Genie replacement? Who knows? Because the 3 at the minute is going to be Fab, Thiago, and Henderson. So someone's going to have to break into that 3. Who are you going to drop? Because Thiago is world class, Fabinho's world class, and Henderson's our captain. So it really is a tough one.
Yeah, Thiago's just I've always said he's the only under Klopp. He's the only established world class player we've ever bought. He was world class. I wouldn't even consider Alisson world class when we bought him. He was good. Like he was quite. At Roma, you wouldn't have said he was world class, though. You know what I mean?
No.
Not a lot of people would have, anyways. I don't think Van Dijk was at that time coming from Southampton. So,
no.
Do you know what it is? He's just so good to watch, though. I'd say watching him in the flesh live, it's just beautiful. Yeah. I really like how he's turned on. Like class is permanent, and like when he's receiving the ball off Phillips, off Williams. If he's going to get the ball off Van Dijk, off even Gomez or Matip will be injured. Let's be honest. Let's not even say Matip, but come on, like if we're speaking facts, but
the glass man.
The glass man, big time, Joe Matip. But Thiago, I just thought has been so good, and that's not going to be talked about because it's Thiago. I don't know what you know what.
That's just because he's playing for Liverpool. He's playing. If you
know ball, you know Thiago was absolutely class. Let's be honest, man's a class. Even when he was going through his bad spell, you're still like, he's going through a bad spell, but the whole team is sort of thing. So like, again,
the world's going so stats based on everything. Like if you look at a lot of stats, Mo Salah's been best winger ever. I keep going back just before we came on live. Like
goals and assists.
5 minutes before we came on live, I seen something about comparing De Bruyne to Ruud Gullit, which is an unfair comparison, and saying De Bruyne was clear of Ruud Gullit because he's like double the amount of assists, which makes no sense considering Ruud Gullit's played centre back at times, centre forward.
Yeah, he's played everywhere, man. And look, Ruud Gullit's got the best FIFA card of all time, so I'll allow it. I had to get in there. Big up to John from Real Ball Talk. He was on last night, absolute gent. Thiago brilliant again. For Mane, those 2 goals will be massive. He can rest up the so. Yeah, I've said the last while I would sell Mane, and I know I sound like a prick. Why I would not sell Mane, but if it was to fund the Sancho move, I would sell Mane. So it's different. If we could get Sancho in with Mane there, happy day. But like he was good today. Salah was very good today.
We didn't even mention that. Mane was great, and it just shows.
It was just that.
All due respect, like when people are trying to hate on him or whatever, he can produce that at any time. At any time, which is crazy. He just switches it on like that. He's a baller. He's got to be feeling good going into the summer now. So hopefully he can get a job done.
There's no AFCON or in this. No, that AFCON's usually during the season. So at least Mane, Salah, who else? Well, Matip's not going to be playing. Keita's injury prone as him. So like at least them 2 lads are getting a rest. And
just before we go on to Isaac's comment, John mentions about Leicester though. Like it is tough because that's for the second year now. Yeah. For the second year.
Do you know what Rodgers,
it was? We're both big fans of Rodgers as well, so it was a tough one.
And let's be honest, they're still overachieving. They as Grizz was saying last week, they've had so many injuries, man. They've had so many. So do you know what it is as well? They have an FA Cup, so they've got the trophy in the bag at the end of the day.
You talk about them imploding. I don't like any time they're in play in Europe. They're so bad in the league until they got knocked out. Normally, they just can't take it. I just don't think their squad.
Facts.
They don't have enough experience. But as they'll progress and as they continue to hit European competitions, they will get better. But onto that comment from Isaac.
Yes.
Would you take Sancho over Grealish? I'll let you start.
I was going to say I'll let you go first.
I'm throwing it on to you.
Just what age is Grealish? Grealish is alright. Grealish is like 24, 25, isn't he? He's like three or 4 years older than Sancho.
Yeah. I'll Google it here. 25. Grealish is 25 and Sancho is 21.
I'm gonna go with Grealish, but you know how much I love Jack Grealish as a player. To be honest, like it's such a tight one, but I'm gonna go with Grealish just to edge it.
I think
Grealish. It's not gonna happen with Grealish. Sancho could happen, but if you're just Isaac's just talking, who do you take? So I'm saying Grealish edges it, but it's so tight. What you saying?
When I look at this, when you think about these 2 players, Grealish probably is a better player, I would say, technical wise and stuff. But I would take Sancho for Liverpool because I think he can contribute more to a squad in which he isn't the number 1 player. He's very, very good at setting up players. I just don't think I wouldn't like to slot Grealish into that squad. I don't think it would work well. I just think Sancho would be a better fit.
Yeah,
although I think Grealish is a better player, but I think Sancho would do better at a bigger team.
Evan makes a good point there. It's either.
Well, I think that's what it is, though. I think Grealish is a standout player. Looks really good in a Aston Villa. Would look good in a Man City or whatever. But I don't think he's enough of a system player where he's special. He has to be doing his thing. He has to be.
Sancho's a bit like he's a maverick. You're basically saying he's a maestro. Like, you know what I mean? He's kind of a pure flair. Sancho was a bit like that, but Grealish is more. I know what you're saying, but
Grealish is more kind of flary, take on a man, where Sancho is like, I'm going to whip this cross and I'm going to fizz one in, get an assist, maybe skin somebody, lay it off for Haaland, lay it off for Salah if he was at Liverpool or whatever.
Grealish is the leader, though. Good point by Adam there. He is. Grealish, he kept them up last year. Like that's a big thing. You know what I mean?
That's what I mean.
Your home club up.
Grealish has the man in a team. I think he has to be the man because that's where he excels. He won't excel in a system where he's just a role player like a Mane or whatever.
I think he'd do well.
That's my opinion.
Yeah, it's man. That's a tight one.
He'd do well anywhere he goes.
Yeah, facts. That's a title. But shout out to Isaac for that one. But looking at it now, I want to put a bit of respect because again, I don't think we speak about them enough. Leeds finishing ninth, 3-1 win today, playing great football. I seen a list. Shout out to Keen. Like Keen, I like your football beyond the eye. Good page, good Twitter page. But I seen Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was ranked ahead of Marcelo Bielsa, and I'm still wondering why, because Bielsa is such a class act. I think
Yeah. He's a class act, I
ninth
think.
place. Sorry for cutting you off, but ninth place for a promoted team is absolutely sick. But they played great football while doing it. It's not like they they're so good. Every Leeds game I've watched this season has been a good game. Like, oh, even they had a 0-0 with Arsenal. I still thought it was a good game. Loads of chances. Great football. The players, you can tell the players just love playing for him. He knows exactly what he's at. I wouldn't say they have that many standout ballers. Rafinha is a baller. Calvin Phillips is a decent player. But I don't even think like someone like Bamford is that good. They just make him look good. So that's
Yeah,
why I rate Bielsa so highly. He's got Bamford 17 goals this season in the Prem. Like,
you're gonna look fantastic in a system that suits you,
facts.
like the likes of Bamford up top. But when I look at that, Bielsa to be in the same conversation as Ole is disrespectful. Bielsa's a
Yeah.
very, very confident manager.
Ollie's
He
getting that team
plays,
relegated or in a relegation battle. I'm telling you that now.
yeah, he plays like sure. Ole would be playing defensive, everything. Bielsa plays extremely confident. Sometimes that works. That works against them, but a lot of the time it works well. They go out, they press, they play really exciting football, and they want to. They want to play. They want to win. I think this year especially it's been highlighted how much some teams don't want to play football.
Facts.
They just want to throw guys behind the ball. They want to just settle for a loss or settle for a draw, like just keep it low scoring. One team I've been extreme disappointed with this year, I thought Wolves.
Wolves. Jimenez, though, big Jim up top has been even now they've lost Neto for a few months as well. Like, I know they have been disappointing, but if you're losing, if you're like Jimenez, that's like 20 goals gone. Because if you think about it, even assists as well. Him and Neto, him and Troy, the good link up. Like, I think that Jimenez and even Neto being there for a go, I think that's just fucked them over. To be honest,
I
really
still
do.
think I still think they have to do more. I just think their midfield has looked lackluster all season.
Yeah,
Defense
Joe
has
and
been
Ruben Neves hasn't been playing a lot. Like, and you're just like, I thought you were the guy. Like, he's still only 24, which I'm amazed with. But yeah, I
on
hear you on that one.
James. No, for that right.
No, if
No,
it's a
watch
big
this.
if they get back, if they really spend some good money and Bielsa gets the players he wants, they have an outside chance. But
I call
they
this
could
Leeds come 14th next season because what happens after your first season
yeah,
up in the
Sheffield
Prem?
United syndrome.
Yeah, there's not, but people say, I think Sheffield United's been the most extreme example, but teams who come up for championship, these are
Even Wolves
top,
this season, I know they've been in a
they're
few years,
top,
but
they're top class players, it's a top class side. You can play at that high level, but after a year, their body isn't used to taking this toll year on year on year. The standard's naturally going to come down unless they put in massive money. Like, I think they'll settle down now. Like, they've got that excitement for the first year. It's over now. You'll be looking at a 14 to 13, like a Crystal Palace kind of finish. And just when we mentioned Palace, I meant to say it earlier. I have to just put a bit of respect for Hodgson. Like, man's
yeah, he's done a
retiring.
good job there.
But people just
See,
that's the most annoying thing I think with that. People go, yeah, he's done a good job there.
no,
When I
but
look
what
at
it is,
Crystal
what
Palace's teams, they have been you take out Zaha,
shit
even sometimes with Zaha, I say they deserve to be relegated looking at that team because some of them players
facts,
wouldn't start on championship teams. And that's
facts.
just a fact. I look at Fulham this year compared to Crystal Palace, and their team is miles better than Palace. And I'm not
Just
exaggerating that
yeah,
there. They are better than
facts.
Palace, I think.
Couldn't agree more. Just I know we're going slightly back in green. How much would he? They're going to ask for about 90 million because he's tied down a contract. So I'd say that is the asking
Well,
price.
people say that, like, are they worth the asking price? Is any player worth their asking price
Yeah,
nowadays?
who can like? It's not our money. Who gives a
What
rats at the end of the
market?
day? Just
Yeah.
pay the money and they'll come. But few new people in the chat. Make sure you're subbing to the boys. Like the video as you're coming in. That helps us a lot. Boys bring the quality content, quality guests the last few weeks. So make sure to keep subbing and liking the video. Helps out a good bit. And big up Pogboom. He's saying, yeah, I think he's speaking facts there. Honestly, it's absolute facts, and that's a real Man United fan right there. Honestly,
Yeah.
because honestly, if you're a Man United fan, this is short-term gain if you win this, long-term pain. The opposite way around, because honestly, if Solskjaer gets a contract, like
I'm sick. No, I'm sick of saying this because I've been saying it for how long, and boys are throwing it back in my face.
when they
Like,
get a
this
result or something,
is
because Bruno Banks went in.
everything's being masked. Everything's being masked by the individual performances happening and the lower standard of football across the globe, which has been evident this season. You know,
Facts.
even going across the Serie A, I'm buzzing for them games tonight. They're going to be really good. But
Yeah,
like, you
AC
look at
Milan
that.
win and Juve are fifth, isn't it? Sorry, isn't it?
Yeah, you like see AC are playing Atlanta, so that's going to be a mad game. Inter already spanked Udinese earlier on, but they all kick off at 8:15, so that's going to be a bit of crack. But on that, like the standard's just been down. Like, you're in the Europa League, like everything's being masked. But and this guy is just at the top, smiling.
Facts.
I don't know
Facts.
how he is there. It's going to come to
The
show in a couple of years.
The way I see it is, right, as much as Royal fans will slag, if you ask them and they're being serious, they're jealous we have a manager like Klopp. I'm jealous City have a manager. Well, like, you know what I mean? I'm if we didn't have a top manager, I'd be jealous of City having a top manager like Pep. Even Tuchel, I know it's not going well from recent, but he's still a very, very good manager, let's be honest. I'm jealous of that.
Teams.
So
you look at teams, like you say, like just looking at the Premier League, and I look at everything. I want to slander them as like a lot, but then I still look.
James speaking facts there.
They still have Carlo at them. Like, you look at Chelsea, I know they could make a big push next year because they've Tuchel. I know Leicester are going to be in with a top 4 because they've Brendan. Like,
and
West
playing
Ham
decent football
because they've Moyes. Like,
and you're like with United, you're like, I know they'll be thereabouts for top 4 at least because they have a top squad of players.
Yeah.
Not
but the manager, you can't get over the line.
Look,
you literally won't be able to get over the line with that. But
look, if I'm proved wrong in Solskjaer, if Solskjaer ever wins a Premier League with Man United, we'll stop this. Honestly, you can quote me that. I don't care how I don't care.
You have to do something crazy.
I believe in karma. Crazy. I believe in karma and shit like that. But honestly, man's a bum. I didn't want to bring to that. Well, I kind of did. There's always going to be Solskjaer slander. But you were talking about Roy Hodgson leaving, yeah? He is left. Big up to him. But what I'm saying is, if Palace get, speaking of bad managers, if they get Fat Frank Lamps, I think they're going down. I said that to my elf fella just before I hopped on here. I think if they get Lampard, it's honestly I think they'll go down, or at least they'll be. You know how they haven't been in a proper relegation scrap for years, like they've just been safe with a few games. They'll be in a relegation scrap, very bare minimum with Lamps.
I don't want to say anything too mad, but I know Lamps, as much as we slander him as a manager, I don't think he's got it as a manager, but as a coach, I don't think he's been terrible. He looks okay at, young players, feeding young players through. I think Eze would flourish under him, but it's the likes of the rest of your team that's going to crumble. Your top players might excel, like we've seen at Chelsea. Mason Mount was excelling. Tammy Abraham at the start. Players like that are going to get plenty of opportunity, but bringing the whole thing together, he's just struggling to get. I'm frank. I know we slander Ollie or whatever. Ollie's been doing this for a while now.
Ollie, one thing I'll give to Solskjaer is he's a good like man. So they all like him. But the thing with Solskjaer, like they all get on. So he's not gonna fall out with. He's not gonna lose the dressing room per se. But it can be good to an extent. But you need a manager. I know Klopp, like the players see him as their friend. But best believe Klopp has a route aside when it comes to it, and he'll just not. You know what I mean? He'll get on with the players, but. Ollie, I think I think they respect Ollie, but they don't fear him. I think with the Liverpool players, they respect Klopp, but they still fear him. You know what I mean? You know the difference there? They're too pally with him. I think. And
No,
honestly,
that's
it's
when we
good to
look
an
at
extent.
Lampard. When you look at like managers, say like Lampard, Arteta, even Andrea Pirlo this season, and you want to slander them. I know I've given Frank a lot of slander, but they're in out of their depth, right? They're in out of their depth.
Yeah.
It's that simple. They're a young manager.
It's hard not to take the job if you're offered it. Let's be honest.
A lot of them have been showing promise, maybe in underage sides. They're very good at coaching per se because they know all the drills, they know what players need to achieve, but they just haven't got that last bit of gelling together. So you always have to give them another year or two, put them in lower league teams. If they don't get it after a year or two, then I can totally stand them, say, get out of here, whatever. But I think it's always okay to give them the benefit of doubt for another year or two because they're going to need that bit longer to adjust than a person you say who's been like them people who've never really been a great footballer as a pro. Some of them haven't even been professional footballers, but they've been studying the art of managing. These guys have only had a year or two to think.
Solskjaer's been manager for a long
That's why I
period of time.
say
I think you're going to come on to that. Yeah, you're going to come on to that.
That's why I give I slander Ollie more than I would say a Frank Lampard or a Arteta because I'm giving them the benefit of doubt for another year or two. But then I will be on the rack.
Facts. Yeah, facts, but what was I going to say? Yeah, look, but if you're at a top club, you have to perform now. Like
that's what I mean. They're out of their depths. There's too much pressure on them. It was a bad move, but Adam, right? I'll bring this up.
Facts.
Pep won't achieve what
lagging, or is that me there?
That's you.
Me. Yeah. Shout out to Adam there.
Pep won't. Sorry, I had to bring him in and out. You're lagging a bit there. But,
right. Was that Pep me? Sorry, I thought it was you.
Yeah.
I'll go in and out 1 sec. Sorry.
Yeah. Pep wouldn't achieve what Klopp has achieved if he was at Liverpool. Liverpool wouldn't be able to afford 50 plus. But I know I always have been maybe a bit more of a Klopp, and I was kind of a Pep hater saying, we can only do it with Messi, only do it with big clubs. But do you think Klopp wouldn't have done the same thing if he was at Man City, if he had all that money at his disposal? Because you can't really say about Pep, he wouldn't have been able to do it and all this when he hasn't been given that chance. In a way, it's a bit unfair. I like to believe in equal playing ground and stuff like that, and equal opportunity. Who knows if Pep was in that same situation, would it have been different, or would he have gone around the same way? Who knows?
What is going on there? Maybe that is just me.
You back?
That Pete is that. Are we back? Am I still lagging like fuck? It might be a 3G job, lad. Don't know what's going on there.
Yeah, you're back, but you're in a different planet. Technical difficulties are a need when you're here at the Near Post podcast. Even watching it the other day, I wasn't on last night, but there was technical difficulties as always. But guys, like the Premier League, coming to a close, I think it's been, as much as we say every season isn't eventful, it hasn't been too crazy. Relegation wrapped up. People talking about that Conference League, I think that just kind of came out of nowhere. Finishing top 7 is good now. That is just ridiculous. I'm going to get Dermot on now when he comes back in to see if he's anything else to say. But I'm just saying, I hope everyone's going to watch that Serie A tonight because it is going to be extremely interesting. I know I'm a bit of a Serie A advocate at this stage, but you're looking at 4 teams competing right now. Atlanta, AC, Napoli, and Juve. There's 3 points in between all of them from 2nd to 5th. And 2nd and 3rd are battling off today, AC and Atlanta. So that is going to be mad. That's in Atlanta. Boom. I'm looking forward to that one. But look, I think Dermot may be gone. I think we're going to wrap it up there, guys. Thanks for having us. If you're new, make sure to drop a comment. Yeah, it's been crazy. I think that's just been more to the downfall of Juve, but it hasn't been really competitive at the top the last couple of weeks. Inter ran away with it. Even today, they spanked Udinese 5-1, which was a braziness. I didn't get to watch too much of that, but shout out to actually Lautaro Martinez and Lukaku. They've been phenomenal this season. You back?
I'm back, pod back. I don't know for how long the Wi-Fi is moving like a cunt, and I'm on the hotspot. The hotspot's not even good either, but we back
Yeah,
in business, I think.
I was nearly going to wrap it up there. Just everything said for the Premier League. I think
Facts.
just mentioned a bit of Serie A there. That
Yeah, come on.
big games tonight.
Let's a little mention on League On as well. When are them? They're all on this evening as well. Lille could be champions if they win their champs. So
Yeah,
that watch out for that as well. If Lille are champs for play them, they have like a 37-year-old Yilmaz up top. Let's put a bit of respect on them. But if I think it's
what's
a
that?
2-horse race now at the minute. I think PSG can win if
Yeah,
they drop points and PSG get the W. So look,
the way it
that could be a
is,
good one.
the way it is that Lille are on 80 points, PSG are on 79, and Monaco are on 77. Monaco can't win unless they win, like 7-0 and Lille lose and PSG lose, so they're out. But PSG and Lille, yeah, it's literally Lille have to win. If Lille win, they can't lose. So
they're champs, baby. If Lille win, they're champs, just like City. It's mad, actually. Let's touch on City and
Aguero. That's been a peak year for Pochettino.
Yeah, it has been. It has been, but it's mad how City are champions. And look, they've been class. Let's be honest, they have been class. But like, we're not even. I'm only bringing that in now. It just kind of came into my head. I don't even mean to be salty about it. Even like from media coverage and stuff, there's been fuck all chat about City winning the title for a title win. Like, what?
Yeah, but
You know what I mean?
There's no drama. There's no drama and anything like that. Like City running away, but no one cares because that's it. It's uneventful. No one ever really questions Man City's dominance this year. No one put it up to them ever throughout the season. You can talk about Man United, but anyone who watches football knew United weren't going to push them for a league. So it's that simple.
Yeah,
that wasn't even me not even trying to be jokes there.
Well,
like
I am because honestly, there was no title race once Liverpool were out of it because Chelsea had that Lampard tax for a while. Yeah, that's a good point, James. But yeah, I think they will win it now.
All I'm saying,
no, I'm sticking with Chelsea. I've stuck with them the whole way. But all I'll say is I won't be gutted if Chelsea don't win it because I'll be here for the Chelsea slander. Bottling two finals.
That's
Either way,
exactly
I'll be here to rip the piss out of the losing team.
Chelsea
Watch
fans,
out. We've been very respectful.
Go into hiding because no one's going to take this one lightly.
Bring back Frank Lampard. Bring back Frank Lampard. Tubby Tuchel is here. Tommy Tuchel is here if they lose. But that's the madness. If they win the champs, it's been one of their best seasons ever. But it can be an absolute nightmare for them if they don't get the job done. But I think City won. They spanked everything anyways. Aguero. Let's pay a bit of homage to him. Obviously, we done that over under. Remember, we done the over under. Make sure to check that if you missed it. Paying homage to Aguero a few months back. But what are you saying?
Yeah, he got a cheeky little double today.
He got a double, did he? Class.
Yeah. Nice to get a little deuce before he leaves. So he's been a great servant. We've done that video. I'm not going to chat too much. We've done a full video on Aguero. Make sure to go check that one out. Over under on Aguero. The guy is just a legend. He is City's legend. He's their best ever player, I'd say. That's simple. It really is that simple.
Man, he's just a class act. Big up to TC in the chat. Mad how Liverpool only finished third, only 5 off second place. And yeah, that is a good point. We were saying that TC earlier. United's best season in ages. Ollie's a genius.
Since Fergie left.
Worst champions ever. So we just had to get that out there because
There's levels.
Ever since we started this pod, we've taken some into shit as Pool fans, which is fair enough. But like, we're giving it back. I'm not giving loads back. If we won the Prem, best believe I'll be giving loads. But just we've a bit more ammunition to fight with. At least now we've got that armor where they can't really slag us too much. You know what I mean? We've got third.
Look,
I'm not gonna celebrate that too much, but you know what I mean. It's
we've
secured.
even been light. We've been bigging up Chelsea. If you lose the Champions League final, you've had a worse season than us. We finished above you in the league.
Above you. No point
You've
going to
lost
finals
2 finals. Yeah, we finished above you. You lost 2 finals. So just, I'm going to leave that. I'm going to leave that till the 29th. And we'll see who's chatting then. So that's pretty much it. That's all for me, unless you have anything to say.
No, I just want to say, make sure to like the vid, sub to the boys. We've got some ideas in the pipeline, sort of thing, so they'll be coming out in the weeks to come. Euros videos, Champions League watch along will be happening, so get on that. Boys be at it. So make sure to tune in. There's some good videos coming out. Let us know who you want to see over under next. Let us know season, manager of the season, player of the season, all that sort of stuff. If Brendan would have got top 4, it would have been him for me. But I'm going to give it to like Pep. Bielsa needs to get talked about as well. But
right. So who's your manager of the season and your player of the season? We'll wrap it up.
Do you know what it is? It was Diaz for a while, but I just think Kane had so much shit to deal. Like Mons made a good point last night. We're kind of chatting about it's an individual award. Like it's just an individual. Like Kane's put up with absolute scutter. Like and.
Golden Boot and most assists.
Yeah, and
that's enough said.
He's just manufacturing himself, so I'm going to say that. Yeah, and Moyes is a great shout for a manager, but I think let's just not say Pep. I'm going to say Moyes if we're not counting the champions. You're always going to pick the champion. Like if you're going to pick the champions, then no one really has a chance. Like
you don't always pick the champions, so just this year.
I think Moyes then. I'm going to say Moyes. Davey Moyes.
Yeah.
Just to be different.
Not Sean Dyche, no.
Long ball merchant. Like he's done a decent job at Burnley, but that's his level. Yeah, good point, DC.
Best looking.
Yeah, facts. Good point, DC. We should be like it's kind of sickening that we're not even mentioned. United, City, Chelsea are all kind of mentioned. If Harry Kane signed for Liverpool, I'd be a dream. You would not. Oh, if Harry.
No, I'd be happy if we got by. I'd much rather go for one of the younger alternatives in the world.
Get Kane into fucking we'll win the title. If Harry Kane comes in for us, I'll happily say we'll win the title. Kane is class.
Yeah, if Harry Kane comes in, you'll win the next 2 or 3 titles. I want to get young guy in and win the next 10.
Yeah, but that's just not going to happen. You want the success now. No, Harry Kane is the dream, TC. It's never going to happen.
Have Harry Kane with more Premier Leagues than Steven Gerrard. I can't have it.
Who gives a fuck? Like, sure, Dan Lovren has more, or you know what I mean? There's a lot of ducks that, so come on now, don't be at that. Harry Kane would be a wet dream for me if we signed him, but it's just not going to happen. Let's be honest. But if you just see him signing up that, he's just holding up that shirt, and he's just like,
look, if he goes to another team,
you don't know what he's saying.
If he goes to another team in the Premier League, it's peak. It's peak.
Another absolute dream for us, James. But it's just never going to happen. But we can dream.
FSG in if they buy Mbappe. I will buy everything on the Liverpool store.
If we sign Kane, see, I can say this because I know it's not happening. If we sign Kane or Mbappe, I'm not going to say Sancho because Sancho is much more doable. If we sign Kane or Mbappe, which would be game changing, I'm ripping down them 3 or Haaland. They're the 3, right? Kane, Haaland, Mbappe. Yeah. There's an FSG. I'm getting a poster of John W. Henry. It's going right there. Him cooling there. If that happens,
clip that.
Yeah, you can clip that because it's never going to happen. That's how confident I'm. Yeah. So would I, TC. Fact. Just before we end, I had to get in there. John Henry's joining that wall if that ever happens, because I'm just too confident to not. But yeah, everything good lad. Little Thailand one there. Respect it. It's a nice little jersey. But Yeah, facts. Yeah, Harry Kane would be the dream for me because he's just I don't need to say any more with him. We'll end it on that. We'll end it on a bit of dream talk, a bit of score talk as always. But yeah, Harry Kane, the ultimate dream. Anything else, Peter? Before we wrap this up,
No,
good
FSG's
to have you
about
back,
doing.
lad. Actually, good to have you
Yeah,
back.
do a madness on my Wi-Fi. Pete is back in the
Pete
building.
back.
I'm here. I'm a busy man, but I always make time for the new post. So
Facts. No, appreciate the sport, guys.
this
We'll wrap it
summer,
up.
this summer it's going to be a
Big
madness, guys. Stay tuned. So
big things, big guests, big videos, uploads, live streams. So stay tuned there. Notifications on and all that stuff. So much appreciated.
let's go.